Hi crafters, this is Crafty Savvy and I'm here today to share a little project that I've been working on. I also, if we have some time, will do a little tutorial. And so a little bit of time ago I sort of mentioned briefly in another video that I had found these tea filters at my local dollar store, and these ones just happen to come from Dollarama, but they were $2 for 25 filters. And so I got a couple of packs of them, and wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, but I came up with something. Now, I'm not claiming this to be my idea, and maybe someone's already done this before. I haven't seen any videos on this, but I'm sure it's maybe been done somewhere before. So this is my take on what I did with them. And so that's what they look like. And then out of the package, here's how they come. So they're just white, and they've got the string on the side. It's a pull draw string, so that I guess once you put your loose tea in there, you can tighten it up. I never thought about measuring them, so they are about, let's see, just roughly 3 1/4 by just almost 4. So a nice little size, and I wanted to use them for a different kind of pocket or something that I can use inside my journals. So so that's how they came white. And then I took it a little bit of a step further, and I coffee stained them because I wanted them to look a little more antique-like or vintage. So all I did for that was I took my bottle of coffee, I sprayed them, and yep, they do get saturated, really wet, but nothing happens to them. And so instead of like brushing on them and kind of rubbing them, I just wet them with the coffee, and then I took my heat tool or my heat gun, and I dried up the coffee really quick. And in some places I just kind of held the heat tool a little longer, and then I was able to get that sort of browning effect. And that was about it. So then if you kind of stick your finger in there, you can kind of pull, open it up so that it's not all stuck together. I didn't really have an issue with it sticking together, but so there you go. So I have some samples here, and I left some white. I'll show them to you, and then I'll show you the coffee stained ones. So this is how they turned out. I think they're super cute. So I altered them. Like I said, these ones are just white, and I used some lace trims there, and feathers, and some doilies that I've been cutting up and layering together to make the flowers. And I added, I believe that's Tim Holtz little butterfly there. And inside I made some tags there. And without the tag, it's relatively flimsy. You can see it flopping. But my intent is to be able to glue them down into journals. So I'll show you that in a minute. And then I left this string on. I really liked it, and in some cases I removed that little tag there from the actual bag, and added some lace or little flower pieces, and for the most part they're all different. So I'll show you that, and that's the back. So I just thought they were super cute, and so that's a white one, and this is another white one that I did with the pinks. So there's feathers on there. And some buttons and some vintage lace there, some trim. I think that's another Tim Holtz piece. And there's the tag that I made for it. I made these tags, I just have a die and it cuts them out like this. And I also went around the edges of the bag there. So, and on this little tag, I put a little, it's almost a little stamp almost. So that's the other white one. And then these are the ones that I made a little more vintage, and I just love them. I think they're so cute. So I added some lace trim here as well as here. And there's another little doily piece flower that I made. Some feathers, a little bit of ephemera, and that's how I finished the end for this one. And this is the tag inside. Just little bits of, it's a good way to use up your scraps and little things that you don't necessarily want to get rid of, but you can't use for anything big. So that just fits right in there. So that's one of them. And then there's this one, and I just love the way this one came out. These are all vintage laces here, except for the pom-pom trim, and another flower, sorry, and Tim Holtz ephemera piece. And that's how I finished off that one. And then inside is a tag, and I got this paper or this image from a vintage book that I had, and I just Mod Podged it onto a tag. And then there's a vintage crochet trim there. Some more pom-pom trim. So you could really put whatever you want inside there, different things that you make, some journaling paper, just pieces of ephemera. It doesn't necessarily have to be tags. I guess the, you know, the possibilities are sort of endless. And so here's another one. This one has some lace trim there and there. Just some more ephemera pieces, some feathers, there's some lace trim in there. There's a doily back there. That's how I finished off that one. And this tag inside. Another doily piece there. So that fits on there. It's just a nice, a different element for me anyways, to be able to put into my journals. And then this is the last example that I have to show you. Oops, sorry. A little bit of black and white, a little red here. There's a doily. That's just paper that I punched out. That's some lace, and then I just added the little black centers there. And then this is what the tag looks like. This is actually from AliExpress, and I glued it down to a tag and added a black flower and a doily piece there. And I like the way this one turned out. And that's the end there. So those are my examples. So let's get those out of, oh, and I just want to show you before we get into the tutorial. So I don't have a journal of my own to show you yet, but I just wanted to show you inside how these look. So like I think it looks so pretty, especially on you know, vintage colored paper. Or so you could just glue that down very easily. You could let this you know, hang out of the book, and that's it. I think that would make really really nice added touch to your journals. So yeah. So let's put that aside. Put those here. So I have one that I kind of got some things together for. So we're going to use a coffee stain tea bag, and I'll kind of show you my process. So I just sprayed it with coffee. I heat it with my heat tool, and you can make them as dark or as light as you want. Everybody's going to have different, the way their coffee turns out. That's, sorry, my dog. You okay, Charlie? So on this one, I think I'm going to put some lace trim on the bottom and top. So I found also that for some reason double-sided tape didn't stick very well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and use my glue gun, and wet glue would be okay too. So, but I found that the glue gun was just as good for this. Sorry, I don't know if you even saw me there. And I'll put this down. I left it a little longer, and I'll cut the ends off in a second. Okay, I'll put some on the top. I didn't have too much issue when using the glue and stuff with it sticking together so that you couldn't get inside of it. But you could probably put a piece of scrap paper down inside if you were afraid that things would get glued together. So you could probably just open this up and stick a scrap piece of paper in there to prevent anything from sticking if you'd like. If you're using wet glue, that probably would be a good idea. So now those are really long. I'll get my scissors and we will trim those down. I got these scissors for myself. I'm starting, well, not starting, I have arthritis in my hands already. It's kind of in my family. And I find these scissors so much easier to cut with. I just have better control and I can squeeze them a little better. So, believe it or not, I got those at the dollar store too. They were like $4, but I have these ones and a pink pair. So and they're very sharp. So that's why I like those. Okay, so we got the lace down. And then I had a little butterfly that I got out from this little package here. This is Forever and Time, but you know, you can find any. These are paper butterflies, but like I said, I'm not really going to be particular with telling you about, you know, the different elements, because you can use anything that you have. Anything at all would be good for this. So just going to use some more hot glue here and stick this down. And I'm going to put that on an angle right there. And then I have a little doily piece that I cut out. Sorry, I have to reach for my glue gun on this side of me. That's why I go out of frame sometimes. So I'll just put some glue on that. And I think there's a little notch out here of this. So I think I'll just put my doily there. And then I have some flowers that I got at Michael's. This was the spring time, their spring collection. So I just found something that kind of matched the colors in this card here. And we'll put some glue on there. I'll just pop it right into the center. And then I want to use these two little flowers for the strings here. So sometimes I leave it depending on what I'm gluing, but In this case, I just want to take this off to get the actual, let the strings be exposed there. And what I'll do is put a little bit of glue on here. And I'll put the strings on it without like totally burning myself. Put a little bit on this side. And I'll just fold that up. Am I in frame? Yes. Okay. Okay, that's the one thing about glue guns that just drives me crazy. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it's on. Okay, so that's done. And then I have for the inside another tag that I used my die on, and another one of these pieces from Tim Holtz, I believe it is. And then I have another doily piece that I'm going to use. And if you don't have doily pieces, you could use, you know, your scraps of lace when you cut the ends, or just a flower. This is just what I have available, so this is what I'm using, but I'll just put that there. I'll use another one of those recollections, no, Michael's flowers. Put some glue on there. Put that in the middle. So that's done. I like that a lot. So we'll just put my tag in there. Just like that. And that's it. I think that looks super, super cute. And once again, I'll just bring in a page here, and I mean, like, that's just so adorable. There you go, guys. I hope that this is helpful, and maybe you could try finding some tea filters out there somewhere. Maybe your grocery stores would have them, and or the dollar stores, and see what you can come up with. Easy, pretty simple, and a good addition to your journals. So that's it. Hope you guys are doing well, and we will talk to you all real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.